Good evening, Ghana, and welcome to PM Ghana here on Adwa Television. We're streaming live on Facebook at Adwa Television Ghana and also on YouTube at Adwa TV_GH. Conversations have been buzzing over the weekend concerning what government has introduced from the very 1st of February concerning emission taxes. And from the GRA website, the government of Ghana is seeking to have an eco-friendly environment or nation, hence the notion of the introduction of emission taxes. What government of Ghana is saying that for us to have an eco-friendly environment, they rather take taxes. What really is the taxes going to do so far as emission is concerned? Now, if every moving automobile, be it motorbikes, be it vehicles, are being asked to pay the emission levy, who then pays for the consequences? If the vehicle owners, if the drivers or the riders are paying for the emission taxes, is it going to convert into the fares of pedestrians, passengers as well? Is that going to be the case? And in understanding the essence of opening and widening our tax brackets, what significance has an emission tax got to do with today, present day Ghana? Today being the 6th of February 2024, when we roam about in the streets of Ghana, in the comfort of our homes, wherever I find ourselves in the four corners of Ghana, are citizens really excited about paying emission taxes? What is your thought? What is your view? Keep the thoughts and conversation coming in on our Facebook handles whilst we read them for you live on the show. Our WhatsApp numbers will be activated shortly. Do what to send in your thoughts to there to read them for you. I'm going to go on a quick turn. When I come back, I have two interesting gentlemen here who are young people who are making ends meet for themselves. Some of them have family to cater for. But in the wake of having an emission taxes being paid by these gentlemen, what then becomes the effect? What is the raging consequences on these people, their family, and then the passengers or customers they engage with? In the course of time, we'll be speaking to a tax analyst to make us understand what really this is in for us. This is PM Ghana. We'll be right back. Announcements on Adwa TV. Contact Adwa TV for your general announcements, proclamations and publications, job vacancies, etc. at a very affordable rate. Call 050-92-57754, 020-9494-258, or visit our marketing desk at Step Work Premises. Adwa TV, bringing good things to life. Welcome back from the 10 you're still watching PM Ghana here. And the gentleman in my studios, I have Albert. Is it okay? Albert Nanautre. Albert Nanautre is a boat driver. Albert, how are you doing?
I'm fine, sir.
Okay, I'll come back to you subsequently. I have an old friend of mine, and then anytime there's increase in fuel, then there's a issue whereby the Okada people are saying that they want to do some small increments. Hey, he's the best person to be speaking to. He's the national coordinator for Okada Riders Association, Evans Waja.
Yes, sir.
Biabo there.
As a Ghanaian.
Yeah.
Bibia boko be enshede boko, sir.
True. Remember in details. Yes, we'll come and have more conversation. We'll later be joined by Tima Boy Francis, who is a tax analyst, subsequently on the show. Gentlemen, good evening. How are you guys doing? Let me come with you, Evans. And today being 6th of February.
Sure.
Now, I say, I whole ABA if to crying free Ghana. If the person is in the country. Don't be say as an Okada rider in this country. Oh ye Juma. You have to make ends meet for yourself.
Sure.
And na ukasi ejuma no etel saying ekosai. In today Ghana.
Maminchia adwahwe fo nyina ne Ghana fo a omagimra omohwe. Na memfa kwanya isu na menchia me the national president Emma Okada Riders Association of Ghana. Michael Kofi Usu and an executive senior. Ejumani die enka eye ye say ejuma bone yes ni kronobo ena ensa enye ejuma no so bonsan bone pa just so far as ye dey motu ekoba at the end of the day no we make something small we are okay, we can use that word but some doors and some egu yeso o hwe nyama bi a esisi nyama bi a edinam yeso no a we Ghana ni na okase we okay. You see sometimes Ghana for the Nyankopon TV bia na dey akwakwa Nyankopon but this time around here Okada riders are not okay at all.
You're not okay. What is really bothering you? What is the problems?
In terms of taxes and send a country no why hard no affect your business no.
Is it that country now hard into the customers, more for customers na ABR almost say most of them charge ABR 10 cedis or still need be official number is that to that extent and I say full and the boarding and what's your my this requirement.
All right, first no say you can't say compare the entire senior my na scanning a bit tomato sometimes ago let me say 6 years 7 years ago and 8 years ago and that's as scanning the tomato tie the tomato pass scan the talker 6 years ago so scan and then you scan the talker
wow
and then you say car every tomato and then motor tie arrange 600 to 700 motor tie and to say a country no emwa edin amaye na ye won nti a ye say emwa edin amaye because the passes ni bu akosoro so I say passes ni bu akosoro
but say na aban na we mu no ohyemobo say obemamo vehicles one Okada rider one vehicle you say e be swap mo motorbikes no na mamo something protective. It's Okada nye protective business. Okada juma de and what say ye legalizing. The reason why your mama best by legalization na aban we so omo pene say they come to risk their life of people. And say muji sa promises no true mo. Anya sa.
Yes. Because 2020 na challenge case here na between Mahama and then Nana Akufo-Addo ni Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia. Mama said about legalize Okada. Bawumia said there be obesi Okada no amaye cars. But that time no na Okada riders ya ndwen anko ichire ntem. Anhu enkonfo na omuni ye dele. Ti say Bawumia na ye nyim say send na manfo keka na ye fi say yansem keka bi no mo ka but we fire feature no. Ye hu say say na
fa mo feature.
Na da ni techamada na obeto ye no. What the fire vision who say
or the sweet math emamo and amode to abama.
Yes because okache say oba or instead of so mo legalize Okada amaye cars akunkuni no need or mo be sisa cars moto no mama e cars.
And my association nyina no not even one person.
You know
national coordinator.
You say one person but obi a we nim say Okada ride dey use say motorbike no. omo car na omo car no obi a woni motor rider bi a woni so sa car no a woni station a wodi car ne ye adwuma woni car ne normal woni car ne color no me na metiwe sisi e omo police magina na omo fa me no chana pa on fa me nko kire sa cars
woni say o kai sometime be pictures bi kire wo EME
me ba sa e pictures
omo to bikes bi bebire bi I say one door bi
koda
omo say no eno na omo de on be bam o kai sa types
omo launching sa cars no omo invite ye me ko hobi me ye launching cars ni we ye no ade chi ye ko na cars ni nsi ho
e fa he
omo afa ko omo launching no e me office here ya omo afa ko enti normally no sa cars ni me kufa de ne Dr. Mamadu Bayumi ansem de okadafo say adaje ntie o mo bio
what can asemi ya ko see taxes
yes
eso me ba amma bisa o ntie ase e wo taxes in general
yes
and sana my who say release statement concerning emission taxes and also be chiche meba. Let me come to Albert. Albert, how are you doing? You are a boat driver. How is business for you?
First of all, let me say good evening to Ghanaians and those who are watching us tonight. As my perspective as an boat driver, I would say things are not really moving on smoothly as expected, though. But we are in it. Yeah, we are trying to adjust and adapt to the system. Yeah.
All right. So, what is your everyday difficulty as a young person who wakes up in the morning to sit in your vehicle? First of all, is a car yours?
Yeah.
You are doing so. You are the owner of the vehicle. You do.
Yeah.
Do you have
I have 1, 2 for a driver.
You have one for a driver. Like the person is doing, but is doing work and pay or
no? As a regular sales.
Regular sales. That's fine. Based on what you do as engaging in being a owner and then a rider as well, and also having a rider who is working to and bringing you sales, what is your everyday difficulties that currently today? If somebody should ask you, what are the difficulties you are facing as a boat driver or a owner of a commercial a digital service, what is your difficulty now?
For now, currently, I think the difficulty right now is the prices of fuel and spare parts and the roads, some of the roads too. Yeah, it's very bad because at the end of the day, if you are working and the money you are getting is not matching your expenses, like it's like you are doing cost 90 job. Do you understand? So currently the difficulties right now is the roads, the price of fuel, and I did mention one. So the road and fuel and cost of spare parts. Yeah, sure.
That is what is your difficulty.
Yeah, sure.
Then recently the government said that they are going to pay an annual 100 cedis toll for moving vehicular movement. This was part of the taxes that were introduced last year. Are you aware of this? Or something in passing?
Not really.
Okay, but you know about the emission taxes?
Yeah. I just read about it, I think 3 days ago at City Online. Yeah.
So how are you embracing the news that government is saying that for the sake of eco-friendliness, you are going to pay an emission tax? How are you welcoming the news or receiving the news?
You know, I believe in tax. You get it, because tax does a lot of things in a country, and so you get it. So, but the problem is the timing. Do you understand? And at the end of the day, we already have some taxes already in the system. And how utilized are we using the taxes for? Do you get it? Because we have taxes, road, like we have a lot of taxes. But at the end of the day, what is the taxes being used for? Do you get it? And so I don't really have problem with the tax itself.
But your challenge is, what are they being used
yes,
for?
And the timing. Yes.
What makes the timing wrong?
You know, we just finished celebrating Christmas, and you know there is already pressure in the system. You get it? We've had a long month, I think last month, which was January, and people are now trying to gather themselves and put things into places. So them trying to bring in that kind of tax policy is just, it's a blow to us. You get it?
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. I'll come back to you.
Yeah.
Event.
So,
What do you understand by the emission taxes? How do you understand it?
you see, about emission taxes, that tax, I don't think that tax is going to help Ghanaians. The reason is, already we are buying for paying taxes. When you buy 400 Ghana cedis, you pay 40% of that amount to the government. And that taxes are going to maintain our roads, helping some of petty things on the road. So I don't know the reason why that they announced telling others, buying a new motorbike and pay 100 Ghana cedis or pay 75 Ghana cedis for government. We have a tax called SLAW, so that tax alone, 10 pesos per litre.
Okay, I'll come back to you. Let me speak to my tax analyst and then we'll open up the conversation further. I have Francis Timberboy on the line, he's a tax analyst. Good evening, Francis. This morning you were here earlier. How are you doing, sir? I think I lost Francis. I'll get back to Francis on the line. Yes, you're on your point on explaining.
Enti dadadenya say tough wala you try tax say tough for 3 gallons you try we calculate 300 Ghana cedis auto petrol 300 Ghana cedis 40% of out of 300 Ghana cedis say scale nyina echi you try o you toss papers taxes so that so you import motorbike eba o man mu a taxes that so dida so what you say enti at the end of the day no okada rider kwa betimi atwa tax beye me fa ne say amount every day okada rider bia betimi contribute beye 50 cedis ema government and I say 30 cedis every blessing day. So what you say
okay
akwan ni no akwan na ye twa tax so me fa nyesa akwan ni won ye dikan motorbike bo akosro ye and then motorbike ni nam 17,000 21,000 and then my price motorbike me motor ayiba me price motorbike motor anaka me fee say me pay. Say we na come me use no and nam 36,000.
Okay, all right. Over money. Good evening, Francis Timabo. How are you doing?
I'm well, and yourself?
I'm good. Maybe you want to understand the really importance of a tax in every developing dispensation or in every country. Let's first draw that basis. What are the relevance of taxes?
So, government doesn't do business.
Sure.
And so government collects money in the form of taxes from people. If you are lucky and you are endowed with natural resources like Nigeria is, or like Dubai is, or like the Arabian countries, they are, and you are endowed with natural resources like crude oil, then you will not burden your people with too many taxes. Otherwise, the only source of revenue for government is either through taxation or through borrowing. Borrowing has proven not to be the best. And so government will continue to levy its citizens to raise revenue for schools, for the police, for the roads, and for anything that we say government must provide. So that is the relevance of taxation. And in theory, we say that if you want to be on a trajectory of development, the total taxes that you collect divided by your total production, which we call the GDP, it shouldn't be less than 15%. If you are below 15% and you don't have so much natural resources, then that country is likely to remain poor.
Okay,
so that is the relevance of taxation in every economy.
So just at your last point on what the theoretical computation should be for taxes, when we come to translatedness in Ghana's GDP today and what our taxes are like, are we conforming to what experts like you will prescribe?
No, we're not doing well. And if you look at the West, the best we have ever collected was around 13.7% to GDP, and the West has been around 7.8%. I think that was the year 2000. So we're not doing too well, and it's as a result of some historical challenges that we have had with regards to our tax system. And again, the mix, how we mix them, the direct versus indirect. So over the years, we've not been doing too well on that front. And if you take the indirect taxes, for example, we know indirect taxes affect the poor the most. And so you should look at other sources of revenue, like the property taxes, the non-tax revenues, and even when it comes to the direct taxes, you're supposed to do more of the direct taxes than the indirect taxes. In our case, we focus so much on the indirect tax, and close to 60 to 65% of the total tax that we collect come from indirect tax. So you can see that the poor among the community suffers the most, because when it comes to indirect tax, if you have a motorbike, you are paying 75, and the rich person is also paying 75. We are all paying the same amount. So that has been the problem with our system. And largely driven by the fact that we are more of informal economy. Most of the transactions happen in the informal economy, which are tax based, and make it difficult for you to tax them directly.
As an expert, anytime government is rolling up some of these new initiatives or new taxes in the system, I am sure to be prudent that government needs to be wary of the demographics. How many people probably are elitist, people that are having a lot of income, and that those are having downtrodden too as well. Are they to do this indications and then be prudent enough in introducing the taxes? Are they to do it?
I think we are missing on engagement. Trust me, we don't do engagement a lot. So at the end of the day, we bring it and then we look. Take for example the benchmark values. It was a very good policy, but we rolled it back. That was a try and error. Take for example the luxury tax. It was try and error. We introduced it 6 months down the line, then we pull it off. Then we try to bring it back again. Take for example the property tax. So engagement is missing, and so you can say yes, experts could have made input into the policy, but government fails to do engagement. Even look at the VAT on the consumption of electricity in the household. You realize that now government is stuck. Something that was supposed to start from 1st January, now they are stuck. Why? Because we didn't do the engagement.
When we talk about engagement, is it engagement with think tanks, CSOs, or people that are going to directly be affected by the
Yes,
introduction of the
engagement with
taxes?
the people who, I mean, I'll put all of them together as stakeholders. So, who are the tax experts? Who are the people who are even going to make the payments? Labor union. You realize that labor says you never engage us, so you can't just get up and start imposing something that for over 26 years you've never implemented. What triggered you to just get up and say you are coming to do because someone has not implemented it? So we normally think that the populace will oppose every tax that we impose, but that is not the case. You see, when people are involved in policy that they themselves formulated, they would comply and they won't give you trouble. Look at it. Negotiation started, then we pulled it off. We waited for 3 4 years, did the engagement, then we brought it back in 1998. So we don't really take lessons from previous mistakes that we've done. And a typical example is it VAT on the electricity consumption. If government had engaged labor union 2 3 months down the line, let them debate it. Let them come out with their own proposal. Then we have a middle ground. Then we see that the policy will work better. But I think that if anybody says we do engagements, maybe we do, but it's not enough.
Okay, now now we have a big elephant in the room where it has to do with the emission taxes. Maybe if broadly, by way of your expertise, you make us understand what emission tax is in today's Ghanaian dispensation.
So the emission is as a result of what the scientists tell us that there's global climate change, or what we normally call it the global warming. They are saying that the ozone layers are depleting, and one of the key factors that destroys the layers are fossil fuel, that is diesel and petrol. The more you burn them and they release carbon CO2 into the environment, then we are having that environmental effect. So manufacturing companies, cement factories, when you go to the factory, you see that they are emitting some smoke into the air. We are saying they are polluting the environment. Cars, we say they are polluting the environment. When the car is very old, then you are driving, you see some smoke coming up. You don't see it with your eye, but eventually they are emitting something into the air, which destroy the environment. So the last time that the whole world met was in Paris, and they agreed that countries should take steps to reduce their carbon emission. So as far back as 1981, Sweden, for example, started introducing measures that will reduce the carbon emission by imposing some tax in an attempt to change behavior. So they started introducing electric cars. Electric cars using battery, so you don't pollute, you don't use diesel or fuel to pollute the environment. And some manufacturing companies are also using solar panels or solar energy, so they don't burn diesel to pollute the environment. All of these things helps in controlling the pollution. And so government in 2021 said that because we are polluting the environment, we're going to slap 10 pesos a liter on every diesel that you buy. That is good, because the more you drive, the more you fill your engine and you drive around and you burn fuel, then you are polluting the environment. So it goes to the principle that the polluter must pay. Now, the problem is in 2024, we're now being told that, look, aside the 10 pesos per liter on every fuel that you buy, we're going to slap another flat rate on the engine capacity that you use for those of us who drive cars. So motorcycles and those people are going to pay 150 cities per year. Saloon cars and all those people are going to pay 150. Motor cars are paying 75 cities, and then the saloon cars are paying 150 cities per year. That is to generate some amount of money. I think it's around 451 million cities per year. The problem then is, are we double taxing the people because the fuel per liter was more behavioral change than the flat rate which you have slapped on motor? I can go and renew my driver's what do you call DVLA roadworthy and pay the 150, but I'll put my car at home. So it doesn't really address the issue of climate change because I'm not driving, I'm not polluting the environment. So aside the double taxation, the second one, the one we are having now, is where some of us think that it is a little bit misplaced. It doesn't really change behavior, thereby creating or protecting the environment. And again, we are not even told what the money is going to be used for. In somewhere, when the money is collected, the government will now invest in infrastructure that will help people change their behavior from diesel or petrol to a more environmentally friendly energy, like electric cars. So what we are saying is that yes, government has done well. You've exempted electric cars, duty on electric cars. But you yourself now, you have also established factories and you are granting 10-year exemption on companies who are assembling engine cars. That the two policies don't work. Why don't you allow them to manufacture electric cars? Let them bring the raw materials, remove all the taxes on those raw materials so that the electric cars can be cheaper. Today, electric car, the cheapest you can get is around $26,000. How many Ghanaians can buy those ones? So this levy, even though we are trying to discourage people from using diesel engines, at the end of the day, the alternative is not available to them. So in the end, we are just collecting the money and then putting it in the consolidated fund. Those are the problems that some of us have raised concerning this emission tax. Side the double taxation, one on fuel and then another one on engine capacity.
Is it yet still another opportunity where government had to engage, but government failed at it?
Oh, there's always room for engagement, and I think that government can listen. Look, in 1994, when the VAT law was passed, Kumipreku demonstration made it with the law to be withdrawn. So I don't think that it's late at all. Government can still engage. The people, depending on how organized we are. If we are organized like we are organized on the VAT, as we can see, Labour saying that if we don't withdraw, we're going to strike throughout the whole 16 regions. I believe that we are organized on this emission levy too. It's still possible. But what we are hearing is that the transport unions are saying they're going to pass it on to, commuters, and that is a worry because even if they decide to cut 1 city, at the end of the day, they are going to profit more than us because they will be getting over 300. Meanwhile, they are just paying like 150 or some amount, and we created an opportunity for somebody to profit.
In moving forward, what do you think that we have to be doing? We have to listen more, we have to engage more, and also what can also make our taxes more prudent and realistic to the payers of those taxes?
So I think that all of these things we are seeing is as a result of pressure from the IMF. We have asked that if government can go back and renegotiate some of the policies. IMF is pushing that we should take the whole thing. We should take the whole thing from a medium to long-term, measures. But it seems that from 2023 to 2024, we are doing more of it because we want to look good. We have presented a policy, and everybody wants to see yes, the policy is working. But the people and the businessmen are suffering. So I will call for a renegotiation of the tax policy. We need to go slowly, otherwise we'll end up killing people. And again, we need to do more of engagement. I think we need to do more of engagement. Let the people buy in. If the people buy in, this country is for all of us. We'll be able to know what to do and what is best for us. And revenue generation is not the only solution. There is another alternative, which is let's go and look at the expenditure side. What projects can we suspend irrespective of political promises? If you can suspend them and then we bring this country out from the difficulties in which we find ourselves, then we proceed from there. We can't do everything. If it is rules that we have to construct and it is going to cost us so much, let's maybe grade it and then we leave it. We wait for another period. So we need to, as a matter of urgency, go and look at the expenditure side and see where we can save money.
I don't think government is focusing much on its expenditure. I don't think so.
Then it becomes a problem because if you're only looking at the revenue side, then you are going to incur the wrath of labor union, and people will start saying that it's not the best. And again, if I was a politician, I would have been more careful because this is an election year. So, would you do something that will let the people cry? No. It is a very critical year for every politician who makes decisions regarding our fiscal policies. And I think that the better we take those things into consideration, the earlier we take those things into consideration, the better.
Now, before I let you go, I want you to just reconcile a phrase for me. Normally, we hear in this political season that, oh, government is insensitive. Looking at the taxes they are bringing, what will ever make government sensitive in the real meaning of taxation?
So, see, nobody likes paying tax. And that's why we say tax and debt are brothers. Nobody wants to die and nobody wants to pay tax. However, these two things are certain. So, in some other jurisdictions, what they do is that they let the people bring their own proposals. Now, what do we do? And I like one policy that the government introduced last year, which we call the upfront VAT at the ports. The government noticed that there was a challenge with the informal sector. People bring containers, yet they don't register and charge VAT. So the trade union, the Traders Association came up with a policy and said that, look, somebody brings a container at the port and the person has not registered for VAT. Let the person pay a deposit. When the person comes back and register, then the person can claim a refund for that deposit. My brother, that policy has never been objected to because it came from the people. What we are saying is that let the people design their policies. Or you can design the policy, bring it to them, and do dialogue. In our case, it is just a one way. Okay, bring your inputs. I bring my inputs as to whether it to be considered at the cabinet level or not, nobody knows. We only hear about the tax policies when they are reading the budgets. And when they read the budget, the next thing that follows is the bills. Then the bills will be passed overnight. Then we are expected to comply. These create problems and sometimes even affect our own revenue generation. When we even get to parliament and they need to, debate, or you see sometimes one side of the parliamentarians walk away. Look at e-levy. We passed it January, then it took us 6 months to do engagements. Engagement is something that we could have done long time ago. Sometimes even the rates, we couldn't even agree on it. At the end of the day, it distracts the whole projected revenue that you have made. And you have already started spending. So you end up the year with a huge deficit because the revenue never came as early as possible. I think that we have a problem with our fiscal measures, and we need to, sometimes put politics aside and then look at it in a very national development lens.
Francis, I'm very grateful for your time this evening.
Thank you.
Francis Timabo is a tax expert, and then he was making us understand the conversations in broader senses. Francis, I said, first of all, I said government ain't ye. But I said, as an association, anytime government the taxes verbal and I say ejuma momoye in terms of fuel increment, in terms of import duties na dia day. And the government engagement.
Asukada riders.
Asukada riders. Some of them association that they are recognized.
It's a free association cry, say a union.
We are union to
Yes.
Wow.
A union, all the 16 regions.
Wow.
Yeah, we're in for Honum baby. Government engage you on country in Chile, you know. But you know, you follow Minister of Transport and GPR you other transport sectors. No, yeah, omuna yenya information every one. Se bibi koso na yenya emunti asie year. Me say emra no say me ni alaja bus national Roma GPR me ne kasa ya be 3 hours.
Wow.
Bia minti asie no me yire me ho so wo kire me ma me ti asie. So what you say? And you ban say taxes na government dey ban. You can say government ba bonten be bisa okada for say nti say discuss say the two so am be chimi atua. Kwa na mo be fa so am be tua enya kasa. Onu dey anisa government na ndwen ye ho sa. Na na do ne Dr. Mamadu Baumi aban nti no mo yo mo ade. But na kra ewo mu ni say taxes na mo ka say obi ka say Ghana form per say tua tax Ghana form. Me ya. So what you say? Obi bie ni wonu mu a sabi ni tie ne ya a obeka cha ne so won kwasa na ebekọ na obekọ akwasa da utie wo ya wonu medu abema utie aye den won se na adeneti oman na ye wo mu no bra ye ho kire yo oman no Ghana fo ho kire wo mu ndi se who the tax bi ba who the tax ye to wonu mo kada se wonu se yesu etua light be etua water be ye we ni bi ndi sa tax wa ye omudi ato kada fo so no wan na ekwa kotua sika na mame me ma ba won che so bra ma me sika nkoto moto na me nye adwuma ntwa sika na wo de ma me na wo chi na obi fufo ba wanye sika tra ma no afi yesi me nkotua 75 Ghana cedis me rider na me be gi moto no as a work campaign no anasa me unye unua kuma wato moto ama me se ma me fa me building e ma go so bi mu no me na me kwa kotua 75 na anasa wo akwa gi bisia wo ban ato moto ama me so won say na identity and every day be am tofu me contribute enough my government me as a okada rider no me can say me nim ade a me benefit free on mine no ho me tax a me tua me nim ade a me benefit free on mine no ho as a me tax because akwan me di moto ne fa so no enyem papa mame so what you say moto our system we more than years Ghana by entina say enje huhu say sebi nipa na ya omoti moto so enti yenye sa hira bi wo ya kwan ho enkai se moto for so kan ye ho enti tax na o kana for ye tua na se moto for ye tua no di enti na kase se ye tua sa tax no ne to so adwuma na ye na kufa do ne gba omi say e illegal business ye say adwuma na ye na enim ram Ghana mranje adwuma no ntum ye me ba o kono die ben ene ye ohene ebodwa eme ye frɛ konfo pani se betina mu bi isi me na wo mienu na me ye ka asem yi krono die ben na ye gi sa eto efri sa krono die because adwuma na ye no oman ni se oman ni hu adwuma ni ntum ye enti oman ni ngi adwuma ni ntum ye de enti na mo taxi eye krono
what say mo yen tax
eye krono
illegal
eye krono ni edi ka me ko register me motor me twa insurance me twa road ready pepepo ade ka be tua wo license office bia no motor ride twa sa ade no beni business na me di motor ni kwa akoye a me to fuel a day chale oni bibi abai mu mpenimfo won omuhu Ghana for say ye nkoa bi eye omu say omu to man no efiri ho 2020 omu anyo omadum say ye de wodo eni akomapa na ekogina line mu to aba ma wo mu because so trust no hwe the wa omu handle Ghana for no amenia obeka say ya manfrafo bi na ya ba be pie wo mu so ye na ekoto aba ma mu ya na ye ma mu sa 2 minutes mu for medie so nti ese na 2 minutes ye de ma mu so for medie so no modern sa 2 minutes no edidi ewu di enti na modern sa 2 minutes edidi ewu motorbike ye de ye adwuma ya pa chewa hey Dr. Mamadu Baumi so mo be kan no kro no officer ye nko aye petition ebe ye ecolag bag ma
sir
me na make tell every 6 months afena ye na ye di ade nanimu no na ya be target so akwa we oba wa ye be china lock no without reason
if you better say people have taken money and they are
all just so so na ade say all just can afri hwan ho ye to ye pescal e ma na ye na etimi fidie so o man ne boy ye ho ban na o man ne support ya okada rider na onim teacher for ma jai teacher duma be dwa na okada onim napko workers o ma be di okada mu onim taxi drivers ahun kira wotimi to car pass ne ka wo na agi ka na ma na be dwa na okada at the end of the day no okada say yam ye use buy new motorbikes So until from 1 year to 2 years ni de e wa hoden nti would rider no obetimi de be say niam anketenkete obetimi amanteni zade no so won say na ade ne si and so obi tesika to moto ma o say je na fa ye adwuma twa meka na menya sa sika ne fa to moto ma obi fufuro nso a wo a wotu moto no so no wo dwe nipa ne sika wo dwe wo moto so ho cause wo twa wi a wa beda ne moto na so what you say nti say ye twa taxes we nyina emamo na mo ye da sorry am say ye ntwa mission tax what is that tax me mfa ne tax ye commission ye commission na say ye contribution na omo gigi e dey akwa 2024 campaign
I didn't know that.
me na make answer some agiro ye sika omo gi because omo ba be ye e-levy no omo ka kire say ye e-levy Ghana ba ye say heaven omo kire ya dia e-levy be ya amaye omo gi e-levy tu mu wie na Ghana for ye ho kire ye mo hwe ko menim say upon afa hin omo take aso a omo che wodoko no be ka e be witness asem we make say Kaneshi first light kube hunu ya nu kube wi amode ngwa ne bekwa koto atwene no ye dey filika kwan enye kwan dey branch ba bia o from Accra to Cape Coast odoko Kaneshi first light ade we wo hono mu musimu okada rider me ntwa 75 cedis njare na mo okada riders ye na ye adwuma fast akwan no so de bia no ye nka ye homo mu so okay say ade we sa na eti dia ye nko ye sa 75 cedis ye nfa ma akufo ado ne Dr. Mamadou Bawumia ye nko pe contractor bi na so o charge ye bia be 50,000 na ye nfa say 1 month later no ye na ye adwuma wo ye won ye contribute ye nfa say sika akwan no skana ye twa ma akufo ado ne Dr. Mamadou Bawumia no ye twa ye to e ma wo mu na mo ate ye to ne to e di akwa kodi ye to eh ma kan wi ye twa ye to ma wo mu na mo ate ye to ne to e di akwa kodi ye to eye sebi imprevious eye krono e na omo boy be ye matise ye say ba omi be kasa wa china
nyame ya do ma
o china ye di placards be kwa kai no campaign message na wo di ma ye 2020 no ye di placards o china o ba the police for na chichin krofo papa ye okada for o che ye di placards be ko ye na nsi na your placards no answer your questions ni na answer na baba my new promises
what new question baby sir
yeah old promises now yeah no and one dey be placards no on the me answer ye dey nti na sa bohye we ambam na we a wanye kwan ama your new promises
but so nim say COVID-19 is here
COVID-19 is here COVID-19 is here ben
2019
ena kufa Dr. Mamadou Bawumia be promise 2020 so dem sakas no
na your COVID mu after
me no when him say COVID o macho and I know when him say COVID no be ku o kada fa ma aka ne patu pe na nti na otimi gina COVID mu and my yes big promise we no make say COVID COVID why any dey me yan kan wa say ye taxes we are kan wa say ye betua o si ye betua taxes na hu say adi we ye we na edi kwakwa ya me ne wo mi no aka ya adwa bo se ye yi wan sidi mfa koto ade ya di wan sidi sini dia be ade na ye se edi kwakoto no ya hu ade ne biom okọ ba ya also wan sidi na ya sha o ya ntwa 2 cities ya sa twa ma okọ ba ya won fa hwamba wasa be bi won se ye ntwa 5 cities 5 cities obo kwakoto di nsa be sebi nyanza kro no be no
okay mat ya take us Ahmed, I'll come to you and then I also want to ask your daily concerns about this and this tax matter and then what really you are seeking to be done about it. It's just some few minutes past 8. I'm going to go on a quick time. When I come back, you're still watching PM Ghana, you're not on television. Please do stay tuned. We'll be right back. Announcements on Adwa TV. Contact Adwa TV for your general announcements, proclamations and publications, job vacancies, etc. at a very affordable rate. Call 050-92-57754, 020-9494-258, or visit our marketing desk at Stepwork Premises. Adwa TV, bringing good things to life. PM Ghana here on Adwa Television there. Let me come to you, Albert. Albert, what are your look forward? Because they are resorting that the emission taxes will be dropped, because in their statement, they are saying that if government does not drop it, they are going to then incur the burden on the passenger. What about your side as a boat driver? What is your call to government?
To me, I would say that they have to engage the stakeholders and make a review to it, because at the end of the day, it's the people that is paying the tax, and they have to pay it on a friendly manner. Like, they have to make sure that at the end of the day, nobody is being burdened. Do you get it? So to me, I think they have to engage the stakeholders. They have to. I even read somewhere that the transport union, they had a meeting with the ministry, and per what I read, they wasn't really comfortable with the whole thing, the emission levy. Yeah, but you could see that they didn't listen to what the transport union people said, so they went ahead, and which was very bad, because they were talking from the angle of the average people. You get it, the taxpayers. But if you are implementing something that people that are going to pay for it are not comfortable, they are not in a state of, embracing that thing at a particular time, you have to consider a whole lot of things. Do you understand? So to me, I feel the government should review it very well and engage people and listen to what the people are saying. Yeah.
What is, as a boat driver, do you have family?
No.
You don't have. So you're yet to make family on your own. But definitely there's money home who you have to try for, among other things.
It's family, yeah. Good.
What will be part of the indicators, things you'll be looking out for? We are in an election year, and from here to December it's long. But as the year has begun and the new taxes are setting in, what will be some of the things you'll be looking out for your decision you are going to make on the 7th or 7th December or 7th of November? What decision are you going to form? You're going to inform your decision on the election day?
As for the elections, it comes with a lot of things, because sometimes you look at different aspects, and one thing I believe in is that sometimes there are some certain things that I may feel uncomfortable, but someone may be comfortable with. You get it. So I don't really I don't say something is not good. Do you get it? But we should find ways and means how everybody will be comfortable with it. You get it? For instance, if I don't take in this water, if I take this, if I react to this water, okay, and you feel good taking the water, it doesn't mean that I should sabotage the water in a way that they will stop making the water at all. But at least I have to also find an alternative. You get it? So to me, I look at a lot of angles when it comes to
elections.
Yeah, things that influences my vote.
Something like what?
Something like, let's say, policies that benefits, like, as in the majority of the average people of Ghana. You get it? Policies that benefits the majority people and the average people of Ghana. Because me, for instance, there are some certain things that maybe implement that I may not benefit from it directly. Like, for instance, this free SHS thing. You know, I'm not in a stage of going back to SHS or something. You get it? But someone is benefiting from it. And everybody, definitely, I'm not in school, but I'll give birth. A family will give birth. So definitely, in the future, we will all benefit from it. You get it? So there are some policies that I look up to. You get it? Like this NHIS thing, like this. A lot of people are benefiting because definitely you fall sick. You get it? You fall sick. So there are some certain policies that I look up to in terms of voting. You get it? There are some.
Okay, that's profound. Evans, you're about to open me more.
Sure.
Now, I can see on authorities the 2020 dear. Not more the center of the conversation.
Sure.
Because not one political party say obe legalize Okada.
Sure.
Emma and you cry boy ye cry no Okada riders ejinemu didinding. And the others say oh they be too risky now they be mama cry and you know not more the center of the 2020 campaign.
Sure.
Now this year Afena parties no be really on policy kakakaka.
Sure.
And see you the poten war Okada riders. But and then what are you looking forward to? About on the 7th of December, 15 now, December. What are you expecting to be done for you? And then now, so they are to Abba on the 7th of December, and that's November 7th.
Oh, say, me can Okada for someone, me can. Any the minimum for ye can. Your free meetings are your platforms from Komwa Yedi. Say me from Sona Mitra can say. Meto abase nyame ya aduma ye bema me ka bi ma me show se me nkronfo no po omo fa me ho nche me de bi kan me ko market aba o me ba meto ade we abrel e na wako o ba ye no wan to ade na ambre me wan ka de nti a wan to o so me bisa wo so twen next month and next week me ko na makwakoto aba obi nso se ade na wo so pe no enyo we enya papa na mo we na ye papa me de be ma o enti se o bua me na wo lodu me niam egu ka ne mo ma me a me koton pe me ba atade no we na meto abro ma lodu niam na gu ka mo ba koton niam na wie o ba ya ade na wo so beto abro me no wan to wa me kan chem so say ni say enti na man to ade echi ya wo sa ba ko market no wo sa ba be kan chem asem foforo bi sebi me da so na pa me hu mani mu nkosro ana Okada for ye nyen kronfo a ye be ka say ye jimmy to the sense say politicians e be use adwen ama ye Muhammad ye bo say ye ka dai enti everyday bia ye dan ka papa oba di o mine so a kai de wo ka fa ye ho 2020 ye dan ka be gba wumi ani na na ado de omo hye ye bo e no mo andi so because mama so be dey o mine so no be legalize Okada amaye ana ba omi asi no be dey o mine so be my cars
Talk about me on dear man so yeah
mpocho mo eya mamu nya sade we
yeah dey
Ghana for matisa man for say dey na ba omi enya president na ba omi enya ba say ba omi gina Independence Square swear chere Ghana for say odi na ho odi ni nimu dey nyina be tie the president echi enti mpocho na wo be share ye no dey enti na wan fa ni nimu die na wo no wo odi share ye bon anfa go tie president echi ene dia obi ka se gba omi enya president na mi pa no onunu na wasere enye se nani na age na wasere gba omi take part of Akufo the government mu a me to me o me vice president o ye se Akufo the two coin now onu na ye president awon no hwe ye so enti dia enti na se bibi disa bibi ko ye dia ye onu na ye se bibi ko ye dia gba omi aye dictatorship ma wa ma say obi anapo meeting obi say ye timi yi sika free your phone so na ya nya adwuma nka sika ko da your phone so enti ze o nya president dey say no mu yi free mu but na crime me person me can say Okada for there ya take a decision be ase ya wo ba no ye nya ntu ni di ya wo ba Okada for ya wo akola no wadam fe ye nya ntu ni di na mom ye wo ma me bi wo ho no mu a ye ne na ti area the one we treat here no ye pese ye dika 2-1 man say ada ye betu ye bedi na ma nsi ho e ma ne me sha ye bo bia biom Dr. Manuel Bawumia so ba ye ga na te say heaven na when you kada sem free ni nkomodi e this
2024 echina also the vision e magana for eba e bia na o asempe bi mamu
o nya asempe bi amaye ye nya ntu na ade so ye nya yini mfo se he o nya o se ne odi ade che say 2025 because 2025 Ghana for bia na ya ntu aba ama no ya ntu aba ama na onya kwatena ni fi ade o kan ye nya ntimi nko ni fi nko dan ne ka bi so what you say and this is see how we do on mine no so as a vice president was I leader of MPP party rule Ghana
Afena Oba abe speaking as the leader of the New Patriotic Party now because because initially Akufo-Addo na the leader of the New Patriotic Party but Afena Oba to Obama no I had to be national inside as the leader of the New Patriotic Party
any Adua hwefo omo amohwe Adua TV omo amohwe ye we internet so no wonim Dr. Manuel Bawumia no on send me video we man on friend crowd na amohwe no say onko na wonko hwe the speech mu so kada bi wo mu a anything about motor rider ebi ewo mu a omu yi sa speech ni free man sa na wo kina wanko ka asem ma ebe ma sabi ye de ni be sika kwa ho na ya twinu e wa sankam
say bi ebe kina be ka say wa dream mo ho enti obe fast track na ebi mission tax ye free ebi na be tinya
o yi mission tax free ho wa yi am free ho masa wa dadai wa ka ya tro enti na nya de me ni ade agba o me de be convince o kada rider o enye me as a person be union no me ni ade wo de be convince you
na enti nyama okay even say what okasa anase
eya association no
mo nyina nkomo
eya association no
na mabagina ba ko so say
me say union no every Saturday bia Greater Accra every Saturday bia ye meeting voter region for mo yes Sunday but bia omo like I say Friday na ye omo weekends omo nyina be share ye wo be bia ye obia mo so ye omo meeting wi ye wo general platform ye post your informations what you say 2024 election o kada for the say ye nkoto aba emma obi ene ne ye ne ma na mo ye koto aba legalize okada because car ni de nya de afa na ba ka che say yen 2025 o mbema ye car bi there is no way I betie san komo no so I just say this about me person or convince okada for me sure say e bia we tan speech mu no on sisa ni pa be on sisa okada for this year the number 1.5 million to on sisa ni pa be 80,000 and I say 90,000 and sisa motos no my cars Ochina for
1.5 million.
Your
membership.
Your membership.
Wow.
Your membership.
We are such organized.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. You started here no. Now you amount for instead and you to just call DVL straight. Say, but be a register motorbike bia no. You pay data. You be a data call a jeep transport union for no say there be data na the buy no. I say omo engine to na your doors on the do. Na you know omo you need jeep to pay for a call DVL. No mo say no there be go doors
because it's say more radical ye motor license ye motor exams na
license for motor yes ye ji motor license ye try exams ye call your ITS ye bibia na ye ji license as a motor rider na my J license as a motor rider my travel road rider my Akufo-Addo car kwan ya me use me motor no so my travel road rider ma my go kotofu my tax sadi ni na chi no wanti mi antransi anjuma nkase no nkrofo ye ndi omo adwuma entum na omunye abotwa na so omunye akoma pamfa nya adwuma o won sa ni pokroya se o still wonje adwuma ne entum na so ogusu taxi so aja se enti Dr. Manuel Bawumia de nya de a wokira ye de no ho be che no ya ngasa ye de placards be ko ye nko ni mpa bebre ye station masters and station leaders no nko ana ye ne se kaso afo memma ashama mfo mma ye na ye wa Accra ha no se ni station leaders
ni invite
young ko run in China with them ho say nim say ha no wo even no na nye helicopter no de be fa surako opia ni cars be twem obi odo no a okọ no e be hu de yeso e chogu e placards
net wo dem bagina school
yeah baby ye fa kwampa ye betimi akwakọ gina 37 run about no ye pese ye hu say ye pese what feeling no mu say enya kasa de Enya kasa de ena ya ware o.
And to see and let's imagine say be China. Now if you look at a placard now His Excellency the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. Alleged us stopping the convoy and I say what Gina knows you. Evans, I don't panel problem for me kasa.
Me problem na ma travel placards no. O kasa o ba o be sesam okada na wa ma ye cars. O ba ye no wanye ye ni problem so wanyo because ye nim say nya mi nyina de odo anu kan nya no betimi aye. So acha se wanye kire ye reasons nti a wanye. Obi a edu abatu a wo hu ye wo nkrofo ba ye ho e be hye ye bo na se edu so be di bo hye no so a ene de ye ba ho aye hu ye throw petition bre wa wo nya daje mpo no wa hwe asem se ye kai wo se papa asem a wo kai ye no e ma wo re
if you say what refer the necessary courtesies
why ni why
so if follow up transport ministry if you are the more concerned about transport ministry no fast track mo nya mama mo bia na wanye ne sanso e
me article be online and almost say release I think 200 Akoda small cars. Maybe at the right locations now.
Maybe enye obi ka cho say 200 cars na e ntro e 25 ada omulanti cars no e wa ha me ko bi enye se me ko gina ho me ko bi as a leader
and I'm 25
cars now when a coordinator masa agenda no mami ya wo ka so bobo tui how akunsin one na coordinator
a special initiative
one na so akyase na koda no me ba o okada ye ni koda ade kura na koda almost say coastal development dey be fa so akyase anti ye ni omo ade bi enje de nye de emmo brasa so akyase o koda for office omo office omo but omo ni agents are even pay attention to you say oh me okada rider na me 2000 person mo ngina mo ma me ka na me nya eduma ntwa de aka omo ni bibi sa enti Dr. Mamadu Bawumia de 77 previous obi obel ne kan kire ne say Ghana for ya teacher made ya finish teacher made for 4 years enti so be the campaign they want me no manen meka ni wonim say akra ogusu fifins no won wi nantwi aso na mo wi nantwi ya made ti so wonim pa say wo wonim die bia wo ne tirim wo adwempa bi a obetimi da boa Ghana obey president obetimi da boa Ghana 1 year mo half na 9 months akai omo Akufo da membu enye successful because so what me disappointing na Akufo ado dia Ghana for be disappointing on the other 7th December 7th January 7th when aye da na ye beto aba
okay
so what me disappointing na ado ama na ado a government aba be west ema Ghana for dia enka be ya kwa nka oni na ado nyina nka omo end omo time me say ka me ben no aka me ka je no plane ono de na ado a end the time ono on retire free politics no nko pa adwuma foforo nye
oni na ado retire
omo nyina nko
na so no younger
enye ne younger na ye ka Ghana for in fact so ye benya e so as a leader na ye hwehwe o enye wo younger ya we honestly say eguso kai o tu kwan wo cars be 6 side na echi Ghana for do say tu kwan wo cars be 3 di echi enti ono na ni sebi ono ni ye fumu ma anase se ne ono oba feel comfortable no enye no na ye Ghana fo ye Ghana fo e kan say na da no adoso we ochina se wa kwa koken ka me kura mpo de me mpa ye boni say okogina ho no won chusu ne running mate kam enu mpo de ka me ni baji na ma hu say o the first year okoye no okochusu ne running mate ene no opie ba na woto ntro no a yenso ye begina so na ya som woto ntro no ba bi mu na ye placards a kire no de bi obe ma speech bia ye be kire placards de bia na gba me be ma speech bia no ye be kire placards and then you see what vice president na wonye president Mayen fa Akufo Addo amembu mu asem na
it's on cancer but sana ate
entimi nyesa minya hu ka akokonya zeta ye bo metini abaso na mo ye blame driver
so we national coordinator no decisions are chairman be taking na we follow as some of union
sure
the president be can na we follow
sure
and the name ko contest elections now person go di national president somebody to find ne hunso enjoy won
enti say me ye national coordinator na me president na fam bibia wonu na ye bibia na medinachi na me ne take decision me yenko ankodi nkomo we me yenko ankonye sei members na wo mudi achi no enim pa say me na me kan president hu na wotumi ye na ade what you say na ave maybe adru no present so my break me person me kwaji ma ho me na ma twa me ho be ka tell members ni say me krampo no me adwena me wo me tirimu no na my intimi my me person me be present na me timi hwe me to sisi say me wu ochina mpo na ya nji okada ntumu abeye me cry ya me person ya nji okada ntumu o man nji okada ntumu na riders no obia meti say oh nkrofo na omu kase ya nji okada ntumu omu nji okada ntumu no waja na woka ho
but sisi ano mo boa for the regulation of okada helmet shirt because we said one sisi ano dan pare ba no mo adhere to
ye nyankopon no
mo adhere to red lights sisi ano red lights so a mo gina mo cross first be na it means say allegedly me say you may do a police for to me omudua no ehye rims no mu e ma bu mo allegedly me say
me rider we am egusu kai ochina ma onsan chiro for no bi enko agbogloshi old father ma heya no won ko gina ho police for busu yes ade no
omo de dia ehye mo bike
enura obi timoto so ko otwe mu wie na mo say normal place na ebo moto na chi no one side ati nti no man enya complete
no wa 40
why effort kai say police ni be gina no otu moto di na chi no odi ne nan push no me was adi we see 2019 e wa chi moto ma rider bi motor bike brand new police ni push no man free main road no so e ko tour from 2019 e wuye wa enura esi wo ochina manso twefo onkrofo enkohe egusu koso
eno no more as leaders how do you engage the police authority
say will be decided report in the bar yes your cost station home yes your kwako susu say fine ye nipa no ye timi nkase de wo ye ne wo na wo so nimra no be na se me nimra na wo se ma me njunso wa ha na ma junso na wo so nimra
ignorance of the law is no excuse
wo so we nimra no wo wa be junso wi no ga che me say ha ye njunso nti wa chinya na nimra na wo so nimra ye we na se me no mi nimra ye ni enti koda ye ni police form benefo no ye kwa pacho na ya kan ya asem bebre na di adwuma na tumu police form no benefo no bebre na wo say ye bo wo man ni yi na hwe IGP wo ye jakufu dampare ye mfe na IGP o okada fo ye fe na ye nyankopon na ko no nkrabo no ba be prayer president akokada fo ke ye be campaign dodo because oba ye no ade na ye hye ye so no o ma no ho kwan ma ye ni hia ye o ma no ho kwan free okada fo mu nyina mo mra mo meka mo how enkyere me ye ko susu ya se be ntina mo nyina red ye si chale u be do traffic light no awu agina na police need to take am no watu okay no watu eska wonim de ntia obetua nti obi bia so mpese obeye adwuma de akọche ne yanko nti na edu traffic light na ya den na ya twemu no ana o hye ye ne nto no o hye mra ma ye se muntie de mo ka ye no me de beye adwuma be me so meka no mo so mo fanya adwuma na esi yo yati no ka hye ye se ye do traffic light ye ngina who license o ni license o de gina ho but the fact is your license show helmet register motor we yes anya man nyina wo do traffic light gina ho police ni betu kia frame enti most of okada riders no obo wo okada rider kwampo na o ka che so wa IGP no ma ho ndi
we shock omo na de mam
no di ne normal ma ye na o ka kire say muntie mra na media mamo no mo hu beto mo be sa mo an di media no so a mo hu be kire mo na esi yo papa kan wo de o say okay sa mo do traffic light police ni so gina ho kra moto na o te so no police ni so kra the same thing one gina obedi wachi akwachi wachi wa bakwa kodem mu gitum ana ye say ye gitum because say your doors nipa be 1.5 na wo nipa ba ko cross traffic na ye police di wachi kwachi wa eno en affect association no en affect members no wo na wa ye wa so odin na ye den na samra ne kodi wo na ye gitum no so ogi ye gitum
engagement say na dan prayer na mo pesa ya ban
en ban ni enka wo ena me say moto for kada for your fair IGP say ye nyankopon even though police for no bi na mu a omo ye ne say omo ye dey assign ni di o be ye o kada for there opa police ni be gina na ye operation chichi motos 100 ye nim say IGP ni mo so because ne wo kan ye say omo nye no wo kwa wo dey na ye different And most of police who follow, but do not a yen or can't say. Omunye ti sa won kwa white mu na wo di oni pobo ni sem a ye mfa hye Ghana police ye di be hye wo as individual
no. Thank you, Evans, for your time this evening, and then Albert, I'm very grateful for your time too for coming in. And then I hope that people have listened through the show, and maybe they will waive off the emission tax so that there will be comfort to us as well. And then between this 9 months, you know, I want to spare parts and taxes no so
yeah, sure.
Not for no so that mu ye juma you'll be able to also make some profit and then take it to too as well.
Sure.
Evans made us say waba a chat placards no you be share
sure
and you know me make sure say me ba me the camera and me microphone no e ba be gina we need
me see.
I also hope that one day when I pick a ride I'll have the opportunity to join you too in your ride. All the best to you too, Albert. All the best to you, Evans.
Sure.
Thanks for being part of tonight's conversation. My name is Pepsival. Have a good evening. I'm out.